Okay, I think we're live. Welcome back, everybody. Now, today we are going to be reacting to some of the takes that I see on Reddit MMA. Let's go ahead and just get along with the video. Okay, let's first start off with this. Let me just set this. All right. All right. So first, let's start off with Johnny Bones Jones. Boney says, "Remember, you're not a champ until you defend that title, Francis Ngannou. Be careful what you wish for." A really interesting take from John Jones. I mean, by that logic, wouldn't John Jones not be like a real champion? Because he hasn't defended his title yet. It's been like 500 days, John Jones. You have to defend your title, or else you're not a real champion, according to yourself. By the way, Jones said that. Oh my freaking god! Yeah, this is a bad take, John Jones. It's kind of ironic that John Jones is like saying this, because he hasn't defended his title like at all. Even though he should. What the fuck? Bro, who freaking makes these? What the fuck? Bones and Connors don't fight anymore. They just talk shit online. Legit though, but like freaking Conor McGregor, he just be getting drunk and like just tweets. He starts like Twitter beefs with everybody. I think Conor McGregor has been one of those guys that just calls out anyone and everyone in the MMA division and like really does not fight at all. Oh, this was back when Jones was pretending there was any way he could fight Francis. What? No way. This has to be recent. No, it's not. It's old tweet. But it is ironic that John Jones is saying this. He just says shit, constantly moving the goalposts to suit his legacy. Tom would fucking smoke him, and he knows it. The move up to heavyweight has had quite the effect on his body. No way he could move like that at light heavyweight. Not even taking his age into consideration, you have to think of the extra weight he also's carrying from Dana being stuck to his dick. Oh man. I mean, yeah, of course. Freaking John Jones is obese. An obese guy. He should not be fighting at a heavyweight. You can just tell that he doesn't have like the frame for it, really. I mean, he says he was like a power lifter or whatever. Here comes egotistical 4D chess to explain why he's different. What are you gonna do, Jones? Duck him? Yes. Yes. I think it's pretty well known that John Jones is going to retire. I don't even think that that's like a hot take anymore. Everybody's like, "Oh, John Jones is just hinting at retirement." Well, of course he is. He's 37 freaking years old. He cannot compete with the best of the best. He just can't. Age comes for everybody. It really does. I do not expect John Jones to stick around, if I'm just being completely honest. I really don't. There's no reason for him to. If he's saying that he's making bank, like crazy bank, it is what it is. Why are they like this? Francis deserves so much better. Only Cameroon fighter in UFC history. Only version in UFC history. Now they have to edit this, of course. Obviously edited. Can't even play UFC 5 anymore, bro. UFC 5 to continue admit in your microphone that John Jones is number one pound for pound. No, I actually want to buy UFC 5 and like kind of live stream it. I was really big into like gaming before I like started talking about like MMA on this channel. I really wanted to like pop off being like a professional gamer and shit. No joke. Please don't laugh at me. Like straight up. I wanted to become like a video game streamer. And those freaking dreams might still be alive, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I might just become a professional UFC 5 gamer. Fuck it. Even though I don't really think that the esport for that is pretty big. What is this? Israel Adesanya versus Dricus du Plessis knocked knees. Holy shit. Holy shit. They drew freaking Dricus du Plessis knocked ass knees. That's funny as fuck. And they drew freaking Israel Adesanya just running around. Oh man. No joke though. No joke. Israel Adesanya is going to beat Dricus du Plessis. I don't want to hear it. I really don't want to hear it from anybody. There's a lot of people out there that really do think that Dricus du Plessis has a chance at beating Israel Adesanya, and I really don't see it. I honestly don't really see it. I mean, now thinking about it, the only thing that could play a factor in that fight is Dricus du Plessis' like ginormous freaking stature. Like he's a big freaking dude, right? He's a big freaking guy. Like no homo. Like you know what I'm saying? Like no Diddy, no Rizzler, Dizzler, whatever. He's a big freaking dude. Actually, I think there was like a clip going viral today of Dricus du Plessis being like a welterweight, and he was skinny as fuck. So I think that he went into like a tremboloni sandwich diet for a while, and maybe a little bit of a human growth hormone diet for a little bit. You know, not accusing anyone. Please don't fucking sue me. But I really do think that Dricus du Plessis, you know, he's a big freaking guy. He has a big frame. I think he is gonna have one of the biggest frames out of all the guys that have fought Israel Adesanya. Like his stature kind of reminds me of someone like Romero and Paulo Costa. Like that type of like no Diddy, like that type of girth. You know what I'm saying? But that might be the only thing that plays into a factor if I'm just being completely honest. All right, let's listen to this. I actually gotta adjust something really quick.
On the feet until Islam decides to take him down. I just think Islam's striking is a little bit more crisp. His boxing is a little bit more now. So if it stays on the feet, I'm going to Islam. Obviously, the grappling, probably Islam. So that's who I would pick. I think Islam's striking has really evolved. I think he's made leaps and bounds with the striking.
Relax.
I think Arman's going to have a tough time taking him down. So I think the fight will be on the feet until Islam decides to take him down. I just think Islam's striking is a little bit more crisp. His boxing is a little bit more crisp right now. So if it stays on the feet, I'm going to Islam. Obviously, the grappling, probably Islam. So that's who I would pick.
I think here's my take on it. I feel like the reason why Islam is able to have such good striking is because he is so good at grappling and takedowns that's always a threat. You know, the threat of Islam always being a good grappler, a good wrestler is always there. So fighters have to be like aware of that, you know? And since they're always aware of that, you know, they're always like, oh shit, this motherfucker's about to go to a takedown. And then Islam could very easily just fake a takedown overhand, you know, take a takedown, you know, cross, you know, and what makes it even weirder and even more unorthodox for Islam Makhachev is the fact that he is a southpaw, I believe, right? No, yeah, he is a freaking southpaw. So, you know, it's really difficult to kind of fight someone like Islam Makhachev, who is really good at understanding distance and also being aware that he doesn't need to be a super aggro, aggressive pressure southpaw. And I think that's why his striking is always dangerous. Like the striking that we saw against Alexander Volkanovski, the reason why he knocked him out, in my opinion, is because he started to add very specific combinations to his striking, which was like maybe like a middle teep into a freaking high kick. Those are very dangerous combinations, right? Because the high kick from the southpaw position is like the freaking is the kryptonite to everyone who is like a regular orthodox fighter. So with him being like a southpaw, he's able to mix things up in a way that most fighters don't really train for, right? So it's really tough. It's really tough to train for someone like Islam Makhachev. And I think because it's really tough for train for someone like that has a very specific base, you know, he could free up his striking a little bit more, right? And his striking is a little bit more effective. But of course, you know, Dustin Poirier is going to say all this, right? Because he got beat by both of them. He got beat by Islam. He got beat by Khabib. You know, so obviously he's going to praise those guys. I promise you, if he would have beat them, he would have not said any of this. Does Islam actually see stuff we don't? Oh, what is he looking at? Bro was off a perky. Let's see, that's how I look every morning before I go to work. No joke. Not even kidding. Straight up though. That's me in the morning whenever I go to freaking work. I'm still trying to wake up whenever I do morning shifts. As a father, I've seen this look a million times. He's concentrating on not shitting. The Oracle of Dagestan. If you ever busted your ass in the gym to the point your brain is just kind of fuzzy, you'd get it. Sometimes you are just trying to focus on keeping yourself moving and going rather than anything else. I mean, yeah. I mean, Khabib is known for having some pretty intense workouts. Oh, I saw this earlier, bro. Izzy is a weird motherfucker, bro. Izzy is a weird dude for saying this. The most humble and peaceful dog. Be ashamed if someone... Like, why would he say that? Okay, y'all can't even see this, but... That's just weird to say, bro. Like, I don't know. Izzy's a weird-ass dude. He's one of them. Izzy is one of them. I don't know why he would, like, even think of, like, tweeting that. It's, like, some weird-ass shit. Izzy versus DDP is this weekend, but I feel the aura hype isn't there. You're tripping. It's definitely going to be a good fight, but anyone else feel this? No, absolutely not. It's going to be one of the biggest freaking cards of the year. You know what I'm saying? Israel Adesanya is making his freaking comeback. You know how many Glazers are going to be, you know, posting about this like a day or two before? And I promise you, the freaking press conference is going to do numbers. It's going to do numbers. Guaranteed. I think the Izzy aura took a hit after the Strickland loss. Yes, it did. I agree. More than the fact that Izzy looked kind of lost during the fight, but after, when he and his coach talked during the post-fight presser, he said he was talking a multi-year break from fighting. He just seemed defeated. Well, of course, you know, I think that nobody expected Sean Strickland to beat the shit out of Israel Adesanya like that bad. Like it wasn't close. It wasn't really close. And I think that the main thing that affected Israel Adesanya is the fact that he didn't do much in the fight, because he even said this to his coach, like, I want to fight him. I need to pressure him. And the coach was like, no, let's stick to the game plan. You know, and Israel Adesanya kind of second guessed himself in the octagon, got his ass whooped. He just lost the fight. It was not close. Really was not close. And you know, it's a shame, you know, because I'm pretty sure that Israel Adesanya does have a lot of regret, because he wanted to do something else completely different from what the coach wanted, and he lost. It wasn't close. But I could definitely feel, or I could, you know, pretty much sense that, you know, yeah, Israel Adesanya pretty much took it really, really bad. Plus, the Izzy Dricus drama happened a year ago, and in that time, Izzy lost the title, and Dricus won the title in a very close, somewhat controversial split decision. Well, yeah, I mean, look, let's be honest, man. I feel like Dricus du Plessis had a better kind of camp for that because he kind of knew what to expect a little bit because Dricus du Plessis had film to study. He had freaking, the Israel Adesanya fight right in front of him. That's like probably in terms of development what Sean Strickland was going to bring to the table whenever Dricus and him fought. So in my opinion, I feel like Dricus had a little bit more to work with because he had like 5 rounds of film and knew what to expect and kind of had a good idea of what Sean Strickland was going to bring to the table the night of the fight, in my opinion. So that's why I think that Dricus had a better performance against Izzy, right? So decent take, 7 out of 10 take. Let's read some of these replies. I see Dricus trying to take him down and ground and pound easily. Are you tripping? This is the kind of dumbass shit that I read on Reddit. Okay, look, earlier I did say that Dricus du Plessis' size might play a factor, but numbers and statistics, they don't lie. Israel Adesanya has never really been taken down and controlled. Israel Adesanya has some of the greatest takedown defense, period, in the middleweight division. 77%. That's off the dome, ladies and gentlemen, because that's such a great freaking statistic that Israel Adesanya has. I see Dricus trying to take him down and ground and pound early, and unless Izzy catches him and knocks him out, I mean, the water's wet. I mean, I think Dricus will put on the type of performance Strickland did on Izzy. No, I really don't. I don't think that Dricus du Plessis gets the opportunity to take down Israel Adesanya, and if he does, I feel like Israel Adesanya will get back up immediately. I did make a post about this yesterday saying that Dricus du Plessis isn't going to take down Israel Adesanya not once, but that was really just to piss off, a lot of Dricus du Plessis fans so that my engagements could go up on YouTube. But I do think that Dricus du Plessis might get lucky and does take down Israel Adesanya maybe once, but I don't think that he keeps him there. I really don't. I really think that Israel Adesanya is really, really good at getting back into his feet. I think that he's really, really good at defending takedowns. He has a really, really good high percentage of doing that. And I mean, water's wet, of course. If Izzy catches him and knocks him out, obviously, he wins the fight. Like, come on, that's like what? Not really a take. I think Dricus will put on the type of performance Strickland did against Izzy. No, I don't think that at all because Strickland and Dricus do not have the same system in terms of approaching the fight the same way. I think that Dricus is much more, coming at you, especially after what we saw from his fight against Strickland. Strickland is kind of a little bit more, counter punchery, definitely, a lot more than Dricus, in my opinion. Izzy can definitely stop DDP, but for some reason I'm getting Bilali on 2 vibes from this. What the fuck? I feel like Dricus is gonna wrestle a lot and pick Izzy up and slam him multiple times, grinding to a decision. I don't know if Izzy has fought someone like DDP that can mix up the martial arts so effectively. Oh my god, the glaze in these posts. However, I'm not sure DDP has fought a sniper like, bro. Like I feel like nowadays, like MMA fans, they don't film study at all. Like they just go off like these freaking buzzwords and actually think that they have a take. Like sniper, like come on, bro. Like I get his take, like I understand what he's trying to say, but like man, like come up with your own ideas, bro. But that raises the question: is Izzy out of his prime? If so, then I think Dricus will dominate him. If Izzy is on his peak form, however, it could be very different. I mean, there was some pictures of Israel Adesanya coming back, and he does look pretty swole. I don't know how that's going to affect his weight cut, but I don't think that Israel Adesanya has just completely stopped training. I really think that he's probably done film study with his coach and probably fixed up a couple of the patches, especially against what he saw Sean Strickland. And I'm pretty sure that he is a much more confident guy because he took a lot of time off. It's not like Volkanovski, who got his ass knocked out by Islam Makhachev, then came back to fight Ilia Topuria and just think that that was a good idea, because that's not at all, what I think Israel Adesanya was planning to do anyways. Yeah, we're really gonna see Izzy's takedown defense tested here for sure. I mean, we've seen it multiple times. Come on, guys. Come on. Israel Adesanya has 12 title fights. I think this is gonna be his 12th title fight. He's been fighting nothing but high level guys, ladies and gentlemen. There's other good, decent wrestlers that have tried to take down Izzy. I mean, not like Dricus du Plessis. I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and be honest. Dricus does have that big freaking stature that I said that might play a factor, but there's other good guys in the UFC that had tried to take Izzy down. Besides John Blachowicz, besides, a guy that Israel Adesanya was trying to beat as he was moving his way up in the weight categories. But besides that, Israel Adesanya is pretty decent at his takedown defense. I don't know. I feel like the Strickland fight was a bit of an anomaly in my opinion. I can see the reckless abandon style of DDP causing Izzy to open up like he did on Costa Tavares. Okay, look, the thing about Dricus du Plessis, if he just comes forward and tries to attack Israel Adesanya, Israel Adesanya is a tall, lanky guy, so he really doesn't have to do much to counter, someone like Dricus. All he has to do is just move, his head, shift his head, literally into different positions to avoid hooks or inside shots. So I think that Israel Adesanya, is probably gonna take angles as soon as Dricus tries to blitz in. And a good. I was rewatching the Dricus du Plessis versus the Whitaker fight, because I thought that I really do think that was Dricus du Plessis black belt test, because he was going to fight a fighter who was a former champion, and something that it really impressed me about Dricus du Plessis is the fact that he knows that Whitaker likes to come and step in and kind of blitz in. And he was able to pretty much wait and be patient against someone like Robert Whitaker, who was a championship level fighter, and pretty much made him walk into a punch. That's what really knocked him out. Robert Whitaker literally walked into Dricus du Plessis' punch, and I think that was set up. That was set up, actually. So obviously, Dricus du Plessis, championship level fighter, he's not a dumb guy. He's not a dumb freaking fighter. He's obviously very, very smart. But fighting Israel Adesanya, I don't know. I really don't think that it's gonna be, a takedown thing for Dricus du Plessis. I really don't. Or he shouldn't. He should really try to strike with Israel Adesanya and then maybe look for a takedown later in the rounds to try to secure a win. If he just goes and tries to wrestle like he did, like Bilal did against Leon, I don't think that that's going to work. A lot of people are comparing, Israel Adesanya to Leon Edwards, and in my opinion, that's not a fair assessment because they just don't fight the same. They don't have the same decision making at all. I might be wrong though. I might be wrong, but I really don't think that Leon Edwards and Israel Adesanya is a fair comparison. They really don't fight the same. They don't have the same system, and they don't make the same decisions. But anyways, for sure, I forget the fight even this weekend until this post. You'd think there would be a lot more hype and traction online, but I personally feel like I have seen many posts. There will be. I feel like this fight is probably going to be one of the biggest fights of the year, in my opinion. I mean, it's Israel Adesanya's comeback. Come on. All right, Islam Makhachev, and so these days, I enjoyed watching the fights. It's a pity that this dirty politics got into such a courageous sport. People who gave their whole lives to this sport and got a chance to compete at the Olympic Games are forced to stay at home and watch the Olympics on TV. The double standards of dirty countries deprive our athletes of what they have been striving for all their lives. I think he's talking about, some of the fighters that got banned at the Olympics. I'm pretty sure it was that those two dudes from, I think one of them was an Israel guy, in my opinion. It's about Live and City Call being banned, I assume. Pretty understandable considering Israel and US were also banned. I mean, yeah, what can you do? The entire Olympics is just a complete shit show. It's crazy that the Olympics has been a freaking like complete shit show since day one. Like before anyone's competed in any freaking sport, the Olympics has just been stuck in controversy. And that's not a good thing. It's really, really not a good thing. Drake sleeps in the second round. No. John Jones is the only fighter. Okay, let's read this. It's actually pretty interesting. John Jones is the only fighter ever to have 3 UFC championship wins on MMA decisions, where the most common fan scoring result had him losing. Nobody else has more than one. Is it because JBJ is hated or he lost in the fight? I mean, look. I don't want to call the fans casuals, man, but I just feel like 90% of the fans don't really know what the fuck they're looking at whenever it comes to combat sports. And that's just my opinion. You know, I really don't think that like too many fans are like film studying and, you know, they're just fans like the way NBA fans are like NBA fans, or like NFL fans are like NFL fans. You know, like they understand that that, you know, individual players and individual teams, you know, might be good, but they can't tell you why. Like, oh, this guy's good because he's fast, you know, he has like these percentages, but like they don't understand why, like to a deep degree, to a profound degree, you know. So really what I'm trying to say is fuck the fans, you know, in my opinion. To a certain degree. I mean, there are some fans out there that really do know what they're saying and like what they're talking about when it comes to combat sports, but I would honestly say that it's not the majority. Definitely not the freaking majority of people out there. Like, if you're not film studying consistently, if you're not, you know, understanding what it means to have a system, you're probably a casual. If I'm just being completely honest. And you should definitely not be judging the sport, you know, in terms of wins and losses. That's just my opinion. You should just be, you know, watching the sport because you like it, you know? And that's fair because not a judge. Not a judge. 48-47, Santos is a horrible scorecard, and people are mostly arguing it because they hate Jones and Santos overperformed, though it was also Jones fighting a really stupid fight. Santos was throwing at air all fight. 48-47, Gus is arguably a arguable but very generous towards Gus. Ooh, that's a controversial one. 48-47, Reyes is fine and probably the right scorecard, but round 3 is legitimately quite a lot closer than people like to remember. Also, from a pure fight standpoint, John won the rounds. He won more dominantly. Anyone who thinks Reyes clearly won round 3 is clearly a John hater. I mean, look, nowadays, you really do hear, you know, some of these controversial fights in John Jones' career more because there are more John Jones hater. Understandably, you know, John Jones deserves, you know, all the hate he is literally ducking Tom Aspinall, you know. So take some of these takes with a grain of salt, because I'm just being honest, you know, from a qualified, unprofessional takes from a YouTuber, combat sports, I feel like John Jones won the Santos fight. The Gustafsson, I don't know. That's a fight that I think definitely need to watch a couple of times more before I give my take on the Gustafsson fight. And I will try to look for it from both directions, from both John and Gustafsson's direction. I've only seen the fight like 2 times. But definitely been hearing more of these controversial fights because, you know, John Jones nowadays has a lot of hate because of what's going on with him being the heavyweight champion and ducking Tom Aspinall. Anyways, Pat Barry, derogatory. You killed the man. but not the. Oh man. Oh man. Build your dream UFC commentary team. Anik. Well, we can only have like three guys, right? Anik, Joe Rogan, and Dominic Cruz. I feel like I honestly really do think that Joe Rogan has interesting takes whenever it comes to the grappling, because I'm not a grappling guy. I really don't understand some of the positions in the grappling department. You know, I feel like Daniel Cormier has some good takes when it comes to wrestling, but this dude is like the freaking glazer to the max. Like sometimes you even think that freaking Daniel Cormier is gonna go in there and just pull the freaking fighter's shorts down and start freaking sucking him off. Like I swear, bro, Daniel Cormier likes to freaking glaze on fighters like you have no freaking idea. Joe Rogan, though, I feel like he has, you know, some really, really good takes when it comes to like grappling and wrestling, specifically in the jiu-jitsu department, you know. But yeah, Daniel Cormier, I don't know, he's annoying sometimes. John Anik, I feel like John Anik is like always trying to like not, you know, be biased, you know, and I really appreciate that, right? Because I feel like nowadays we just have too many commentators that are absolutely biased towards one particular fighter, and it's the most annoying shit. Because I'm gonna just leave it at that. And Dominic Cruz, you know, I feel like he does know. He's one of the few guys that are in the commentary team that actually do know what the hell they're talking about. Michael Bisping, holy shit, I've been wanting to say this for a long freaking time. Michael Bisping, I feel like he is not like a high IQ fighter type guy. I feel he's more like a vibey, you know, commentator guy. Like he'll be like, "Oh, this fighter is gonna come in there and fight with a lot of hearts," you know. And he's like for the casuals, in my opinion. He has like a lot of casual takes. No disrespect towards Michael Bisping, it is what it is. I'm pretty sure that he would admit it, you know. He doesn't really have like the same like eye, you know, to like certain things that are going on in the fight as someone like Dominic Cruz, in my opinion. Anyways,
what I will ask you though is, can you give me one more day? I'm not asking you for a week. I'm not asking you for a month. I'm not asking you for a year. Can you give me one more day?
Bro, Kevin Gastelum. I honestly really did feel like his last fights against, what was his name? Pretty sure. I want to get this fighter's names right. Yeah, his last fight against Daniel Rodriguez. Holy, bro, I think he came in like 5 pounds overweight or like some crazy freaking number like that. That's embarrassing. That's freaking embarrassing for Kevin Gastelum, a fighter who at one time was in title contention, to come in overweight. I think that was like his second time in a row coming in overweight. Like that's unacceptable for a professional, and he's big as fuck. Like he's not like big like in terms of size, but like he's fat as fuck. I'm pretty sure that he could have lost the weight if he wanted to, you know, if he went on like on a strict diet. But like seeing this from a professional, man, is not good. Really not good. It's not a good thing for someone like Kevin Gastelum, who has all this experience, to come in to a fight obese. Anyways, what was the best 3-round war of all time? Bro, what? Really? Khamzat versus Burns? Really? I feel like it's up there, but I don't know. I mean, this fight's up there. Fight's up there as well. Gilbert will always be a legend for this. Signed a contract to fight a much bigger opponent who had been branded a potential 3-division boogeyman and ended up giving an absolute war. One of the most satisfying things that the fight was Khamzat did not want to go to the ground with Gilbert. I don't think he ever hesitated to go there with anyone else before since. It was a good fight. It was a good scrap. I think that Gilbert Burns got a lot of respect. He definitely got a lot of respect after this fight. And Khamzat Chimaev, after this fight proved that he is a human. You know, that he could definitely be beat. That's why I think that he's been it's such a badass pick, man. It's such a badass freaking picture. I think in this fight, it definitely proved that Khamzat Chimaev, at this point in time, was not like champion level material, but he could have been. He could be. You know, this fight was so long ago. I'm pretty sure that Khamzat Chimaev has gotten better, but by how much? Forrest Griffin versus Stephan Bonner. Was that a 3-round fight? I think that was a 5-round fight, no? Recency bias is real? Yes, it is. Gaethje versus Chandler. That was a good fight as well. I think that fight actually might beat out Khamzat. Gilbert Melendez versus Diego Sanchez. Decent. Ngannou versus Lewis. Up there. Guida versus Sanchez was pretty wild. It was a reckless fight. That was a reckless fight. Arnold Allen versus Movsar Evloev. Decent. I feel like that's maybe in the top 25, but not the best ever. But decent fight. Alvarez versus Gaethje. Gamrot versus Sarukian. Saying WrestleFest was such a fun Ross. Yeah, that was a 5-round fight. Pretty good though. I really don't know if this fight will be the best 3-round war of all time, though. It actually looks like Izzy repping the black and gold as the champ while Dricus is the challenger. Are these confirmed? African champ versus challenger in champ colors. That's actually crazy. I feel like this was a purposeful choice for Izzy. Of course, like all the mental things or whatever. Like, oh, I'm the real champ.
Incredibly talented
but yeah, these are the shorts that we are going to see this Saturday. These shorts are actually pretty badass. Like, you have the freaking flag as your shorts. There's some G shit. I think that Justin Gaethje did that at UFC 300.
Things got really heated yesterday. It's actually been quite heated for the
Oh my god, yes. This is Dricus du Plessis whenever he was before the Trembolone diet. He was skinny as hell. That's Dricus right there, man. He was small for the welterweight division before that Trembolone sandwich diet that he went on. After I lost to Gon, my third cousin sent me a Facebook message with a bunch of advice telling me what I should have done to have won the fight. Anyway, if Ngannou wants to hire him in preparation for their bout, his name is Sean and he sells car parts and has never trained. What is he talking about? Is he implying that his cousin steals cars or that he doesn't care enough about his cousin to know what he does? Catalytic converter salesman. Bro, oh my freaking god, man. There's this guy from my city who literally became like this was like on FBI. This was like the FBI did like an entire investigation on this guy because he managed to make like $750,000 within like a couple of months stealing catalytic converters and selling them to like freaking mechanics from around the city. And the FBI got involved and like this story was like big in my city. This dude made like almost $1 million freaking dollars within a couple of months off like a freaking like handsaw and selling these freaking catalytic converters to other people. Insane. Like how much are catalytic converters even freaking worth? I think I read somewhere that they're worth like $700 to $900. This dude was grinding, bro. This dude was freaking grinding. Like literally and figuratively, but 750 thou from stealing catalytic converters and just selling them around the city. It's crazy. I think they're trying to highlight that this dude has like a crazy complex name. Let's go ahead and see if we can freaking pronounce this, man. I'm bad with names. Mahamed Khabib Saidu Zinadovich Karzimaharmedu. That's a crazy one for you guys, man. Crazy name. Gamrot said that Arman Sarukian rematch makes sense for the interim title. Can we stop fighting for the interim? Should Islam sit out for the rest of the year? No. Islam should be active. Can we stop with the interim belts, man? Please. We don't really see. Although this would be a great fight. I think this is a great title eliminator. Why do they need a belt? Why do they need an interim belt? UFC needs to start building up some contenders. Yes, there's literally no one in line for after Arman. Gamrot seems to fight Justin or Charles. This is a complex one because if Islam so happens to lose the fight against Arman, I'm pretty sure he moves up. But it's all going to depend on... Actually, no. He's going to move to welterweight. I think he's going to move to welterweight, have a fight there. Maybe Bilal Muhammad, has a fight. I'm pretty sure he's going to lose his next fight. I'm pretty sure that Bilal Muhammad is going to lose to Shavkat Rakhmonov. Shavkat Rakhmonov becomes a champion. Islam Makhachev moves to the welterweight division, challenges. He can either have a good fight against someone in the top 3, top 5, then fight for the title. Islam versus Shavkat Rakhmonov would be a freaking huge fight. It would be like the boogeyman of the division that managed to become champion versus the boogeyman of the entire freaking UFC. That would be crazy huge. I would be so excited to watch that fight. UFC needs to start building up some contenders. I do agree with that. There's literally no one in line after Arman. I mean, the UFC has been putting so much I feel like attention in the lightweight division for like the last couple of years. They're kind of letting the gas off in the lightweight division, in my opinion. But yeah, he's right. Gamrot needs to fight Justin or Charles. I thought that Charles Oliveira was going to go ahead and fight Gamrot. I don't know why he's not taking that opportunity. I feel like if Charles beats someone like Gamrot, he could potentially be fighting for the title again, because Gamrot is the only fighter out there who is like challenging for that top 5 position. If Charles Oliveira manages to be like, hey, no, beats him, potentially fight for the title again. But I honestly really do feel like Charles Oliveira knows that he can't beat Islam or Arman Sarukian, because those are 2 really, really tough fights for Charles Oliveira. I mean, we've seen him I wouldn't say he got dominated by Arman Sarukian, but he clearly lost that fight. And against Islam a couple years ago, I mean, don't really need to say much. And there needs to be someone else after him. New gen lightweights need to step up, like the bantamweights. I mean, I don't know. Call me crazy, but I think they're gonna push Patty. Ooh, they might set him up with Moicano if Moicano loses to Baitwa Saint Denis. I thought that Baitwa Saint Denis was gonna be the next guy there, but I think that he got freaking denied because of his fighting style, specifically because he tends to always just be Captain Obvious, like, I am going to pressure you, I am going to come and try to take your head off. I feel like they came to bite him in the ass whenever he fought someone as experienced as Dustin Poirier. That's just me though. And if they put someone like Paddy Pimblett, he is not going to have that many title defenses. Paddy Pimblett is going to be one of those fighters that is definitely going to have to pretty much select his fights carefully. He is not like a killer, in the lightweight division, in my opinion. He's going to have to pick his fights carefully from moving on from here forward, because there are going to be tough fights. Moicano is a good fighter. I think he's good enough to be ranked. I don't know if he's proved on whether or not he could actually be a champion, in my opinion, because he got his ass whooped by Fiziev. Bad, So I feel like Moicano has some missing elements to him, and I feel like he is going to have to adjust moving forward with the type of opposition that he's going to be facing soon. All these guys have to work on something. But yeah, I really do think that right now, in terms of development, the lightweight division, it's not all there. So I do agree with that. Is there a universe where Patty beats Islam though? Fuck no. LOL, no. But he could be a contender with UFC's push. Yes, absolutely. Original commenter was talking about fresh contenders, so that's why I named Patty. Patty's one of those guys that's just gonna push like a pay-per-view, you know, but not a real contender to be champion, if I'm just being honest. Even if he beats Moicano, he will still need one more win, and don't see him getting past the top 10. Honestly, I really don't either, in my opinion. Agreed, Moicano, then Chandler, then title fight. I forgot Chandler is still it's still ranked. That's crazy. He hasn't fought in forever, man. Like, I feel like after this year, if Chandler doesn't get the Conor McGregor fight, he needs to become active. He needs to start being active in the lightweight division because he's almost 40. It's almost sad if you really think about it. Gamrot is on a 3-fight winning streak and has a win over Arman. So if he beats Hooker, I don't see why he would also be in line. Yeah, true. He is in line, obviously. I feel like it's Arman Sarukian and Gamrot if he gets through Hooker, because the other guys in the division don't want to be active, and that's can't make him fight. Can't make him sign a contract. Why would Arman take that fight? And better yet, why would the UFC make it? Obvious reasons. Title eliminator. The events is lost to stay active, to make money. All good reasons. Obviously, yes, of course. I don't think Arman would risk his golden calf opportunity over such a dangerous opponent, and I don't think the UFC will sacrifice one prospect to another rather than spreading them out. But I could be wrong on both fronts. Winning an interim title and losing a unification bout against Islam later is better than nothing. He lost to both of them and he's suspended. He'll do what he's told. I don't know. Interesting takes though for the lightweight division. Phenomenal. I can make an entire freaking hour-long video about this. In my opinion, it's just my opinion. I feel like it's only a matter of time before someone figures out that Tom Aspinall has really, and I'm talking about really reckless entries. I feel like the thing that works for Tom Aspinall is the fact that he is reckless and he does take like insane risk, you know, but all the risks that he takes are high risk, high reward. And so far he's been landing those, he's been hitting those, you know, and it's been working out really well for him. But I really do think that eventually, man, this type of fighting style is going to get him knocked out eventually, because he's not dominating the same way other great fighters dominate. You know, he's getting knockouts, of course, but not in the same way as other fighters dominating, in my opinion. But not to say that his tactics aren't working, because obviously they are. I mean, he's the interim heavyweight champion for a reason. Prohaska versus Hill. You think winners get another title shot? Ooh, man. No, they don't. I really do think that whoever wins this fight is probably gonna have to fight Ankalaev. I do think that Ankalaev is going to beat Alexander Rakic. So whoever wins this fight is probably gonna have to fight Ankalaev. And I think that Hill is probably gonna lose to Jiri Prochazka. Jiri Prochazka is then gonna fight Ankalaev. And whoever wins that fight is probably gonna fight Alex Pereira. If Alex Pereira, you know, doesn't vacate the light heavyweight, you know, belt, in my opinion. But no, I don't think that they get a title shot. I think that whoever, you know, wins this fight between Jiri Prochazka and Jamal Hill is probably gonna have to fight Ankalaev if he beats Alexander Rakic, which I do think that he will. Who has the fastest hands at heavyweight? Tom Aspinall. I think it's not a debate. You know, Tom Aspinall has been, you know, one of the faster dudes for the heavyweight division. I really don't think, you know, agility wise, between moving from this direction, from that direction, you know, getting to your positions fast is obviously Tom Aspinall, in my opinion. Bader had the fastest lunging and awkward punches. I think he had great accuracy for his awkward positions, because Bader was a gutty dude. We all know Izzy will do the celebration if he knocks out DDP this week. Maybe. People are misunderstanding this fight big time. Izzy's hardest, fastest punch come from inside of the pocket on reckless charging guys, not at range. DDP has that dog though. This is the type of like buzzword as, you know, MMA takes that I really hate to read, if I'm just being honest. Like, what does that even freaking mean, man? Like, come on. Here's the thing, you guys, DDP has the dog in him, but we know that Izzy does the dogs. He is gonna play with his flick. Not even gonna read that. I've been saying this fight will look more like Izzy versus Brunson than Izzy versus Sean. I think Izzy gets a big TKO. I feel like Izzy is not gonna get a TKO. I feel like he is going to win the fight, but it's going to go to a decision. And I feel like he is probably going to dominate, you know, throughout the rounds. But I don't think that he gets a TKO. I do think that Israel Adesanya is going to win this fight, though, if I'm just being honest, but not get a TKO. Me and the other 5 Izzy fans on this sub, if Izzy loses this weekend. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to come out of the bushes, in my opinion, if Israel Adesanya becomes champion again. That's just my opinion, because there is a lot of fans, Israel Adesanya fans out there, and they're in hiding right now. They're in the bushes, they're in the trees, they're under the bed, they're in the closet. But nah, Israel Adesanya's fans are definitely going to come out for this one. They're going to. It's going to be pretty evident. You guys are definitely going to hear it in the commentary team. I guarantee you. I guarantee you we're going to hear it. UFC 305, does DDP take Izzy down like Jan Blachowicz did? No. No. Let's go ahead and look at some of these statistics. How tall is Jan Blachowicz? Jan Blachowicz is 6'2". Actually, I think he is the same height as Dricus. I think Dricus is 6'2". No, actually, no. He is 2 inches shorter. Dricus du Plessis is 6 foot. Israel Adesanya is 6'4". That last fight that they had, honestly, they kind of do look like the same stature. They honestly do. In my opinion, yeah, they do look like it's a similar stature. And I think that I don't know. I really don't think that Dricus du Plessis takes down Israel Adesanya, in my opinion. Not gonna lie, a part of me doesn't want to see him move up to the heavyweight division. Just stay at the light heavyweight division, rack up like 6 title defenses, and KO a bunch of contenders. I mean, he would probably go down as the best light heavyweight of all time, but I'm pretty sure that Alex Pereira wants to be the first man to have 3 titles in 3 different divisions, because that's just going to separate him from everybody else. You know, there's a whole bunch of guys. At this point, there is a lot of fighters that have like 2 belts, became champions in 2 different divisions, but I'm pretty sure that Alex Pereira, he wants to separate himself from all those other guys and just be the only fighter, you know, in UFC history to ever become champion in 3 different weight categories. And I think he could do it. Between Alex Pereira and Tom Aspinall, man, I'm going with Alex Pereira all freaking day. And we're not going to watch that because I will get my channel demonetized. All right, 18 finishes, longest reach in welterweight history. He's next for the title. It's not a controversial take. It's not a hot take. I've been saying this for freaking weeks. Shavkat Rakhmonov, if he doesn't fight for the title next, I don't know what the UFC is doing, because this is going to set up a great match for Islam Makhachev, which is going to sell a lot if Islam Makhachev decides to leave the lightweight division. This fight here, 10 out of 10. Islam Makhachev versus Shavkat Rakhmonov. And I think Islam Makhachev beats him. My opinion. Even though Shavkat Rakhmonov is a scary freaking dude, I don't think that he beats Islam Makhachev, in my opinion. Stylebender on the political compass. This dude has been repping so many flags. What the fuck? Oh man. On the last fight, Jiri also decided to turn to the spirits. He made a deal with the devil. What the fuck? Jiri, no! Jiri sold his soul. Jiri Prochazka probably sold his soul to the devil. That's the only way he's gonna get a win over Alex Pereira if he sells his soul. So you guys already know. You heard it here. If Jiri Prochazka ever beats Alex Pereira, it's because he sold his soul to the Illuminati. Who y'all got by what? Heavyweight title fight, Jones versus Miocic. Obviously, John Jones. I think John Jones is going to beat him. Miocic is like a freaking grandpa. He's like 42 years old. Is Conor ever coming back at this point? I mean, we can hope. But like ever since, there was rumors that he was going to fight Michael Chandler, he's been really flaky. It's never a good look whenever Conor McGregor doesn't decide to do a presser in Dublin, Ireland. It is never a good look. Obviously there's going to be a lot of people out there that are going to, talk a lot, But Conor McGregor ever does come back, I will not believe it until I see him freaking doing a fist pump in the middle of the octagon against Michael Chandler in December. There's rumors that he's going to come back, before this year ends. I won't believe it until he is standing right in front of Michael Chandler in December, maybe. But until then, I won't believe it. I like Rumble, but I always found it weird how everybody was calling him a piece of shit and a woman beater when he was alive. But once he died, everyone showed him love. They only care about you when you die. Shaking my head. I mean, everybody is human, and when you are in a position where you have a lot of eyes looking at you, you're obviously going to get a lot of attention. You're obviously going to have a lot of people having takes about you, even though they might not understand, the entire circumstance of certain situations. People are always going to have something to say. And that's unfortunate that Rumble Johnson had to go through this. But it's unfortunate. Rest in peace, Rumble Johnson. Dana's a weeb. What the fuck? He might be. Is this an anime page? Why does Dana White follow an anime page? It's funny as hell. Will we get a Stewie this weekend? No, bro. We are not, man. I don't think that Tai Tuivasa gets past Walter Walker. My opinion, I feel like Walter Walker is probably going to wait for Tai Tuivasa to get into range and use his wrestling, take him down, and just hold him there. Rinse and repeat from round 1 all the way to round 3. That's the way that I see it. I think that Tai Tuivasa has, been proven that he's on a decline, a steep one, and a very, very quick one. I don't think that he is nowhere near close to being the fighter that he once was, and I feel like there is enough tape out there and enough film to study someone like Tai Tuivasa and have a decent game plan to beat him. So I feel like Walter Walker, being the bigger, heavier guy in the heavyweight division, like I said, gonna wait for Tai Tuivasa to come into range, take him down, hold him there, and win rounds doing that. He's gonna go ahead and go for the boring route, if I'm just being completely honest. Can Jones be stripped already? Don't fight Tom Aspinall. He doesn't deserve a fight with you. Just beat Stipe and retire. You're already the GOAT. And John Jones just gives him a winky face. Come on. Don't start this shit. You can't be cursed if you are blessed. It's Max Holloway cursed. BMF curses. Both Masvidal and Gaethje lose their next fight after winning the BMF belt. Is there a BMF curse? Is there a BMF curse? That's what we're gonna be hoping doesn't go down, because I do want to see Max Holloway beat up Ilia Topuria after what Ilia Topuria did to my Alexander Volkanovski, bro. You guys have no idea, man. Alexander Volkanovski is my favorite fighter in the history of the UFC, man. I think that he is, whenever Alexander Volkanovski was in his prime, he was unbeatable. Age got to him and he lost to Ilya. That's what I'm going to be saying. That's a take that I'm going to be going with for the rest of my life. So I do want to see Max Holloway absolutely starch Ilia Topuria. Most expensive UFC event, first ever Sphere, $600 million budget, one and done main event. Decent main event. I feel like this is a 7.5 out of 10 for a main event. Number one, I feel like there's too many people out there that are glazing, Sean O'Malley beating Chito Vera, because Chito Vera didn't deserve to fight for the title in the first place. So in my opinion, that's kind of a fluke of a title defense. If I'm just being completely freaking honest, I feel like this fight was the fight to make. Whenever Sean O'Malley first got the title, I feel like getting that title defense against someone like Chito Vera, who was barely in the top 5. Not good. But 7.5 out of 10. Hopefully, Merab beats Sean O'Malley, or hopefully we see an entertaining fight. I really don't have a bias on this fight. I just want to see a good fight because there is so many good guys in the bantamweight division. I kind of want to see a lot more high level matchups. If I'm just being honest, I want to see Davison Figueiredo get a shot at the title. I want to see Umar Nurmagomedov get a shot at the title. There's a lot of other great fighters in the bantamweight division, and hopefully, we really do get to see them. With that being said, I do want to see Umar versus Davison Figueiredo for a title eliminator, but that's just me personally. I feel like that would be a great fight. Crazy to think that this call out actually happened in 2018. So you want to know what it's like to be a man handled at 77 kg? Well, come up and see for yourself. But I can almost guarantee you will not like it. So let's make it happen. Damn. Dricus du Plessis called out Gamrot before Dricus du Plessis started going on the Chamboloni sandwich diet. Crazy. Should Tom Aspinall defend one more time while waiting for the winner of John Jones versus Stipe Miocic? No! What? No, absolutely freaking not. Bro, Tom Aspinall shouldn't even be defending the interim belt. That's the most embarrassing bullshit that I've ever seen the UFC handled, man. Why is Tom Aspinall defending an interim belt? That is dumb. That should have never been a thing in the first place. The UFC should absolutely be freaking disgusted with themselves, letting that shit go by. And no, he should not be freaking defending his interim belt at all. He should definitely be fighting for the heavyweight belt. My opinion, like I said, John Jones is going to retire, and they're probably going to have what's called a unification bout, for the heavyweight belt between Tom Aspinall and Alex Pereira next year. Because I really do feel like the UFC expect John Jones to retire. That's just my opinion. For those who have been following the Olympics, who wins under MMA's rule set? I honestly don't really know who these guys are, if I'm just being honest. At this point, who actually wins this fight? Conor McGregor. In the current state that they are in, Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor has been on literally steroids. After the freaking Dustin Poirier fight to recover. I think that Tony Ferguson was at some point on something. I don't think that he beats Conor McGregor. That Tony Ferguson is on an 8-fight losing streak. I don't think that he wins. Back then, though, maybe around 2012, no, 2015, 2013, 2014, around that time, maybe I could have seen Tony Ferguson beating the fuck out of Conor McGregor, but fortunately, that never happened. Francis Ngannou is in a new movie. I think he was just freaking shadow boxing, and he came out in a movie for 20 seconds. That's pretty cool. Post from 2016 when Khabib was supposed to fight Eddie Alvarez for the lightweight title because getting placed by Conor McGregor. As soon as rumors about my title fight comes out, my lawyer friend rushed to help me with preparation. But seriously, guys, I'm just waiting for phone calls with news that I'm fighting for the title. I really want to bring this title to Russia and prove that we deserve it. The badass pick. Insane UFC collection found. Bro, these need to be on in a freaking museum. I wonder if the UFC is ever gonna make a museum. There's a lot of history behind the UFC. Maybe after UFC 500, around those, numbers, UFC should definitely invest in a freaking museum for themselves because there is a lot of history already, insane stuff. Tambot gets an awesome dominant win. The last guy that Tambot fought was an absolute can, by the way. I just want to put that out there. Oh my god, he's literally next up. Bandwagon begins, gets pushed by fans into a matchup he's not ready for and loses fraud check Was he ever really that good? Bandwagon ends. Please don't do this to Peyton, guys. I mean, look, let's just be honest. The last guy that he fought was an absolute can. I think he was like three fight losing streak or some shit like that. And Peyton just absolutely starched him. The guy that he fought was definitely not ready for UFC level type competition. I'm a massive savings nerds. Okay, I think that's a different Reddit page. What the fuck? Oh no, they got Daniel Cormier. No. Over there. I was Gleison Tuba, listed as 5'10", standing besides 5'7" Armand. No way. No way. Let me look this up. Is he actually listed? He is. He is listed as 5'10". I mean, I don't know. That's a crazy fun fact. I don't know why he's listed at 5'10". You know, he is definitely shorter than Arman Sarukian. But what is Arman Sarukian's height? Holy shit. He's right. Arman Sarukian is listed at 5'7". I don't know, insane stuff.
And it was with the guy from the cover of the Wheaties box, Anthony Pettis, and these boys go to war. Tony comes up. I'm working the ESPN desk. He's sitting next to me. He's got his sunglasses on. He's on his phone. Want a commercial break. When we come, so I'm getting fed things into my earpiece that Tony doesn't know because he's a guest. One of the things I get fed is that Tony was given of the night bonus. So I get to be the one that shares it with him. I turned to him. I said, Tony, you got fight of the night. And he looks at me through the sunglasses and says, I don't know. I go, no. I'm not asking you. I'm letting you know. They just told me you got fight of the night. And he said, maybe. He said, maybe, man. And I go, no, Tony, they're at the press conference. Dana just announced it. I've got the feed. I explained to him a third time. And he goes, I really don't care. I've gone international. I got ninjas all over the world. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means to have gone international and to have ninjas all over the world. All I know is that is what Tony Ferguson told me. He did not care about the 50 grand, and that was awesome. Whatever that means, whatever that riddle was that I'm still working on all these years later, it was a fun.
Please, Shavkat Rakhmonov, if you can hear us, please save us. Please, Shavkat.
These corny posts. From Islam story, he isn't wearing a cast anymore, possibly healed and fighting this year. Who knows? This might be an old picture. We never know. Going to my first live UFC event for UFC 305. What to expect? A lot of drunk people. Ladies and gentlemen. And possibly people fighting on the stands, because I've been to one UFC event in Austin, Texas. And there was people fighting on the stands, and there was a whole lot of drunk people, but we had a good time. It's a good time.
And he feels like he has kicked exceptionally well, so that's key too. Woo!
Is Uzbekistan the next great MMA breeding ground? Check out their medals from the Olympics. Boxing, 5 gold medals. Nice. Taekwondo, number 1. Judo, 1. Wrestling, 2. Weightlifting, 1. 8 gold medals, not bad. I don't think so. You know, I feel like there's great fighters all over the world, great coaches, great systems, great gyms. You know, Uzbekistan is definitely up there as well, but no, I don't think that they're like the next Dagestan, you know. But they're up there. They're up there. All right, I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy this video. As always, is a pleasure. Peace out. And actually, let me do this. Have a good one.